Hi, this is Walt W0CP. I'm here today to discuss how to very quickly and efficiently log and upload SOTA QSOs, both activator QSOs and chaser QSOs, utilizing the Google spreadsheet. And I like the Google spreadsheet because it provides a backup to my log, an automatic backup in the cloud. Also because it's accessible from any computer anywhere, and lastly because it has a very nice export feature, which I'm going to show you right here, download as, and right here comma separated values, which is the format that is utilized by the SOTA database. That's a SOTA database structure for importing files, and so it's pretty efficient to enter the data and upload it into the SOTA database. The first step is to get yourself a download the Google spreadsheet app and set up the headers. The first is the version. SOTA has moved to version 2 of the logging system, the logging format. So you put a V2 in there so that it knows you're using version 2. Then the call sign of the activator, the reference of the summit, date, time, band, mode, the call of the chaser, and the summit to summit reference, and then any notes. So those are the headers. And we're going to move to entering the latest activation that I did yesterday, and so we're just going to pop that activation in right here, and I'm going to show you how that works. This is I'm going to go through the entire process, and it might get a little tedious if you think you understand and want to skip forward. Go ahead and do that. This is really set up into 3 parts. First is setting up the spreadsheet, which is pretty straightforward. The second is entering the data, and the third part of this video is uploading the data into the SOTA database system. So we're going to start out with this new activation, and it is W0C FR-047. That's Mount Judge, and that was done yesterday, which was 14 of October 2016. Then the time, the first QSO was 1829, and I was on 10 megahertz. CW. Alright, first thing I do is enter the call signs, all the call signs. Now you can see that on some of these, if they're regular chasers, then sometimes it puts in the call sign for me, as it did in that instance with W6JMP. WD7Y put it in there for me. W0MNA put it in there for me. So that's kind of a nice feature too. It allows you to check, make sure you got the call sign in right. WK6HPX, regular chaser. W0ERI, regular chaser. So it actually finishes the call sign for me. So I'm going to enter these in quickly, and you can see that many of them are regular chasers. So thank you, regular chasers. WB0KIU, K9OSC, and 6. And there's a summit to summit QSO. So when that happens, you just put in the summit to summit reference, and in this case it was SP086, and that was carry. Let's see, where were we? W7 POE. This QSOK7SS was with Danny Eskenazi. I don't think he's a SOTA chaser. He just happened to stumble across me on the band. He's an old friend from SS sweepstakes contests here in the U.S. And he said, he worked me and he said, "Holy cow, you're 20 over S9 or something like that here in Oregon." I was running a KX3 and a random wire with a Pactina transformer on it. So there are my QSOs from that day, and they're all entered there. And I switched over to 18 megahertz at some point, and that's in this. So it was WA2 FBM. Switched over to 18 megahertz. So I'm going to put that in here. Now, here's one of the reasons this is so efficient. I don't have to fill in the rest of this. I hit Control. Excuse me. I just center on the. I just put the cursor here on this little dot, drag it down, and it's going to fill in this column for me. Same with the 10 megahertz. I'm just going to fill it in. 18 megahertz. All I'm doing is putting the cursor on the dot and dragging it down. This is a little bit more tricky here. I have to hit Control on the time and drag it down. And you can see it fills in all the times on 1 minute gap. So what I'm going to do is go back and correct that, because that's not completely accurate. Control, I'm holding down right here and dragging down the date. If I don't hit Control, it'll increment the date. So that's why I'm holding down Control. On the reference, it will not increment, so I don't have to hold Control. Yes, it did. So I Control Z. I'm going to hold down Control, drag it down. You can see it didn't increment it. And call sign. There we go. So everything's all filled in. So now I have to go back and fill in the correct time. So 1829 is correct for that. 30 is correct for that. 31 is correct for that. And so this one's 1831 also. And 1832. Seven BHD is 1833. 35 HPX. 35. I think really the best way to learn this is to simply be doing a log while I'm doing mine here, trying to set up your own log, and then watch me as you set up your own in case you get confused about the process at all, but it's pretty straightforward. KIU is 1838. So I'm gonna recalibrate this by hitting Control and dragging it down a little bit. And we'll see how this lines up. In many cases, 1 minute per QSO on CW is about right. So sometimes they really line up. JZT is actually 0, 41 for R, KXRR 42. This is actually 43. CNL is 44, that's correct. ETA is 45, that's correct. Then I switched bands, so I took a break, so this is 1918. finished with this. Bear with me. Alright, everything is all entered. So I've got the this log entered pretty quickly. And so now what? I go up here and copy this section, this newly entered activation. And you go all the way over to the notes column. And I'm hitting the shift and down key to highlight this new activation that I just entered in. Then I hit Control C to copy that. Now I'm going to set up a new spreadsheet. So I just go in here, hit Spreadsheet. And I'm going to paste this spreadsheet into this untitled spreadsheet here. There it is. So there's my activation. I've pulled it out of my master activation log, which is automatically backed up on the cloud. So I've got a backup of that already. And now I've got a copy of that log on an untitled spreadsheet, and I'm going to export that, download it as a CSV file. So see, it says comma separated value, so I'm going to hit that, and you can see it downloads it as a comma separated value into my download folder on the computer. So now I'm going to go into SOTA Watch. I'm going to the database here and submit log, and you submit the log as an import activator TSV CSV. I'm going to log in here, and there I am, and now I choose the file. So you know, I'm going into the folder downloads. There's my untitled spreadsheet right there, right on top in downloads. I just open that, upload the file. There it is. Now if there are any errors, the errors will show up in red. And if you've got an error, the most common error are errors in time, errors in the summit, errors in date. Those are the most common. Pretty easy to go back and check those, and once you've done this a few times, the errors kind of disappear. You can see I don't have any errors in this sheet. And then I just hit Submit Entry. And there we go. Shows me how many points I have, and everything's okay. And that completes the upload. So I go back to my main activator log, everything's there, and my activator log's up to date. So I hope you can see my point here, which is that this is a very fast way to get your log entered and get it uploaded into the SOTA database. It takes a while to learn this technique. I hope that this video will assist in that process and make the learning curve a little bit easier. And I hope that some of you will choose to use this system. I think it's a very, very excellent system for a number of reasons. The call sign checking feature, the ease with which these columns are filled out just by dragging and having them automatically entered, and the ease with which the CS file is created and uploaded. Well, thanks a lot for watching. 73 and great activations and chasing from W0 Charlie Papa.